Hey, Fight fans, SoCal Val here. You know, they say about lockdown, we're going to learn a lot of new things. And what I've learned is we have to entertain ourselves. And Fight TV is here for you with an amazing opportunity to have some fun. It's the Funk Corona concert series, and I am joined by the headlining act. Of course, Morris Day and the Time. Morris Day is here for the interview. Hi, Morris. How are you?
Yes, I'm here. I'm good. How you doing?
I am so good. I have to tell you, I am so starstruck and impressed. Look at this setup you have. You
Well,
came to play.
hey, you got to be professional. Got to keep it professional now.
That's very true. Well, we are so happy to have you here on Fight TV. Our fans are so excited about the Funk Corona concert. It is this Friday, July 10th on FITE TV Pay Per View. Now, Morris, what can the fans expect to see from Funk Corona?
Well, you can expect to see a high quality, funky party brought to your living room, just like you take the fights to the living room. We're gonna bring it to your living room. So if you want to jump on your couch, jump on your coffee table, and do the bird, you can do that.
Now that's what we're talking about. You know, we have a lot of amazing combat sports on FITE TV, but if you've been following FITE, we've been branching out to some really amazing genres, and this is an amazing way to kick it off. So we have, of course, Morris Day and the Time as our featured act, and we also have Cameo, Ready for the World, the Mary Jane Girls. They've got a really cool lineup for this one, wouldn't you say?
That's right. And we also have Sheryl Underwood
Yes.
hosting the whole event. And of course, she's on the CBS show, The Talk. And so I think we have a really good package. We're representing a great cause. And it's ironic that it's going to be on FITE TV because we are in a fight right now for our lives. So it all makes sense.
It sure does. And obviously lockdown has bummed us out in some ways, but you know what? In other ways, it's made everyone do things virtually, and this is such a cool way for all of us to come together. And as you said, it's for a great cause. This pay-per-view benefits victims of the coronavirus, and it's all in good fun. Now, Morris, how have you been handling lockdown? I know, you're used to being on tours and playing for big crowds, so how have you been doing with lockdown so far?
Well, let's just say, it's been good. I've been getting a little stir crazy. I'm chomping at the bit to do this performance, because I missed the stage. That's what I was born to do. And so, but it's all good. I'm healthy, I'm happy, and I'm here. So, it's all good. And like you said, we're doing this for a worthy cause. We're teaming up with Direct Relief, and they take care of the frontline workers and make sure they have all the essential equipment that they need to do their jobs. And then we're teaming up with Von Miller from the Denver Broncos, and he has a charity called Von Sachs COVID, and they're feeding the children. And so, there's a lot of people out of work and a lot of hungry people, and so it just makes sense that we support these causes. So we're going to have fun, we're going to bring you a party, but we're also going to help with this virus that we're dealing with.
Absolutely. And what a fun way to kind of have an escape for everybody, because that's the name of the game. Is we want everyone to be happy and have a good time and kind of get their mind off of what's going on in the world. And what better way to do it than with Funk Corona this Friday on FITE TV Pay-Per-View. Now, I have to tell you, Morris, I was so excited to interview you because I'm obviously a fan, as you can tell. But now I have to tell you, I am a huge Jay and Silent Bob fan. So I promised our FITE TV fans that I would ask you about Jay and Silent Bob, because I did wonder, have you seen sort of a resurgence in your fan base with Jay and Silent Bob?
Well, first of all, Kevin Smith is such a cool guy. And he went out on a limb because he actually wrote us in the script before he reached out to see, if we would even be interested in being in the movie. And so, of course, when we heard from him, I was like, well, for sure, man, I'd be honored. But anyway, I have kids who were in school at that time. They were in like middle school. And, I used to drop them off at school and all that stuff. And back then I was just Evan and Darren. Well, I shouldn't say Evan and Darren's dad, And then, after Jay and Silent Bob came out, I dropped them off, and they're like, hey, that's Morris Day. I was like, okay, so it definitely, opened me up to a younger audience.
Yeah, they must have made your life a little bit more difficult. Now you got to be spotted because you're Jay and Silent Bob's favorite. They seem very protective over Morris Day and the time.
Hey, well, they should be.
I love it. Well, can you give us any sort of exclusives here on FITE TV about what tracks we're going to hear this Friday? Do you have any favorites that you're going to be playing?
Well, let me say that the fans will hear all of their favorites. And we got Cameo as well, and like you said, and the Mary Jane Girls, the original Mary Jane Girls, and Ready for the World. And so, I just, a combination of all of us doing our hits, I think it's going to be a real special evening. It's going to be a funky evening. We're going to bring the party. And like I said, there's certain songs I can't leave the stage without playing, or else, folks might get upset. So all the good ones are going to be performed for sure.
Awesome. Now, I have to ask, do you have a personal favorite that you enjoy performing more than the others?
Well, it depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm in a slow, sexy mood, I'm going to enjoy singing Gigolos Get Lonely Too. If I want to party, I'm going to enjoy singing The Bird or Jungle Love or any of them. But, they're all great songs, and it just depends on the mood I'm in, the night that I hit the stage.
Fantastic. Well, I was just listening to Morris Day and the Time on repeat just to get psyched for this interview. I know that it's going to make a lot of people happy. What do you think is so enduring about your music? Because I feel like it spans a lot of generations.
Well, our music has always been about fun. Back when Prince and I in the early days were putting this thing together, he was always, he was a big fan of mine, so to speak, behind the scenes. And he used to laugh at my jokes and laugh at my laugh and everything. And, he just said, man, we gotta put this on the record, And so when we started cutting our songs, a lot of my personality went into the music, and it was for the purpose of having fun and making it fun and putting some personality to the music. So, that's just how I wrote. I was going to say we wrote, but that's how I wrote,
I love it. Now, growing up in the music business, was there a certain artist or a certain band that kind of influenced you? I mean, do you have shades of a few different artists that sort of made you the legend that you are today?
Well, I liked a lot of music back then. I mean, music was totally different. It was all about bands. It was all about music, So I loved James Brown. I loved Tower Power. I was into fusion music, Lenny White, Billy Cobham, and I was into even Frank Zappa, and I liked rock and roll, and so a lot of influences, came together. We lived in Minneapolis, so we didn't get a lot of urban music, so we listened to a lot of pop music. And, that was influential, but then we would put our funk in it. So when we started writing, we started infusing those genres, and, we just kind of came up with what we came up with.
Yeah, and it's such a signature sound. You can just tell when you're at a party, you hear that signature sound of yours, and everybody gets on the dance floor for sure. And I have to ask you, I'm a fashionista kind of gal. So, looking through all your different amazing looks, who influences your style, or is it something you find as intrinsic and original?
Well, I have to say, my mom used to dress me up. I guess I was like a little mannequin for her when I was a kid. So, she dressed me up with the suits, and I had little baby two-tone shoes and stuff like that. And then, as I started to get older, I saw pictures of my elders, my grandfather and my great uncles, and especially my grandfather on my mother's side was always clean. He always had the overcoats and the hats and Stacy's on and just sharp as a tack. So I kind of said, I kind of want to look like that, when I grow up, So, I think a lot of influences were just, like I said, my family, my mom, my grandfather,
Fantastic. I can feel the star quality just coming right through the screen. It's very, very inspiring. Now, I did hear that you have an album coming out. I was going to ask you what's next after Funk Corona.
Well, we're just going to keep steamrolling. I got my manager, Courtney Benson, who helped me put this thing together. And we hooked up with Bruce Soto Events to put this Funk Corona thing together. And we're just going to keep doing things like this. We think it's important that we bring the music to the people, since the people can't come to the music. And right now, it's just it's a little it's a little unsafe, in my opinion, to even say we're going to social distance and sanitize and all that, and then get in a larger arena.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There'll be a time, I'm sure, in the future, but for now, we're going to just keep bringing the music. And like you said, I got some music coming out yet. I've got some new music coming out. I have not yet named the project. Ooh. But you can look forward to this. You know, I got some work that I did with Snoop, and you know, we got some real cool stuff on the skillet simmering right now. And you know, it'll be done in a minute.
You gotta let that sizzle and simmer. I love it so much. Well, this has been such a treat for me as a fan, and I know that everyone looking forward to Funk Corona is excited, because this is the safest way to bring everyone together for a good time. Any final words for our FITE TV fans tuning into Funk Corona this Friday on FITE TV Pay Per View?
Hey, tune into it to have a beautiful, wonderful party environment brought to your living room by Morris Day Entertainment, Bruce Soto Events. Like I said, Cameo, Ready for the World, the original Mary Jane Girls, Sheryl, Underwood. You can't miss this.
That's right. Coming to you live on Friday on FITE TV Pay-Per-View, July 10th. This Friday, only a few days away, so make sure that you tune in to Funk Corona, Morris Day and the Time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, guys, until next time, I'm SoCal Val for FITE TV.